This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you want to pre-order some Bloomburrow, use my link in the description. All right, third draft of the brand new format. We are doing some more Bloomburrow during the early access. Thank you for the invite, Wizards. Probably take Thoughtstalker Warlock here. The floor is a 3-mana 2/2 menace that makes your opponent discard a card, and the ceiling is you damage your opponent, so you get to choose what they discard, which is quite good. I think it's better than the Pathmaker, which I think is a nice common for red. Balin can be good, but you have to end up in those three colors, and you have to end up with a bunch of tokens, and fixing's not that great in this set for to get this into play as early as you want to. So yeah, I think it's Thoughtstalker Warlock for sure. Lots of other solid cards here, but... Do we take another one? I mean, 2-for-1s are just so good and limited these days, and I talked about it a little in an earlier draft where part of the reason removal is less good than it used to be is because there's so many creatures like this that are just a 2-for-1 up front, and then killing it would take out the trash feels awful. And I think we do just take another one. I mean, this might be Black's best uncommon. It's definitely in the conversation, and starting a draft with 2 feels pretty good. As much as I like Take Out the Trash, I like the Warlock more. If this always rummaged, like in any deck, maybe I'd take it in the same spot, but it doesn't, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe we'll do Lizards. If we did, that would mean... Oh no, we drafted green-black in the last draft, yeah. So we've done black-green, blue-red, and then theoretically, if we end up in Lizards, it'd be black-red. But that's the great thing about this. It doesn't matter if it's in a Lizard deck. It's good anyway. But yeah, it gets even better in a Lizard deck. Okay, so here's the card I was talking about that I misread in the set review. It can only fight creature tokens, not anything. Not any creature. It's still good, and I'm still thinking about taking it here. A 5-mana 5/4 that puts a counter somewhere or naturalizes something is a good card, but... There's also a Dour Port Mage, which has a pretty powerful effect. These two do have ETB abilities, and bouncing them, drawing a card, and then replaying them is pretty insane. There's also a Banishing Light, which is good, but I think Wolverine and Port Mage, certainly the Port Mage is probably better. It takes some building around for sure, but not that much, because it comes with an effect that lets you bounce your stuff. So... Banishing Light is like the safe pick. We know that card's great. Less sure about the Port Mage, but I'm pretty sure it's really good. So I think it's what I'll take. Blue-black is rats if we end up actually in blue-black. Okay. So Eddie Merc Crab is interesting. It's definitely pretty good in blue-black and good in blue-red. This is a great common, one of the better ones in the set. I think we probably take the crab. These 3 red cards are all pretty good or solid at least. The Talon's probably the best of the 3 of them, but I think the crab is definitely better. And if we're blue-black threshold, the crab's going to be good. It is worse if we don't end up, if we end up playing black-red or something. Obviously, I'm going to be a little disappointed, but... I think the crab is pretty good, so I'll take it. It's not quite as good as Tolarian Terror, which is funny because that was a common, but yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. So this can help with Threshold and loading the graveyard, but it's still Mind Rot, so I'm not super high on it. This is really only going to work out if you do Lizard things. Probably just take the Warden. It's a 3-mana 3/2 that has flying a bunch of the time. Certainly not exciting, but I think it's on the same level as the Brawl or any of these other cards, and we already have other blue cards, so... Okay, so this makes me consider jumping into blue-red and seeing what happens. It's a little sad we started with 2 Warlocks, but black's not super open. I could take the Cutthroat, but it's not like it's that great. And this is a nice spell payoff that goes well with what we're doing with some of our other cards. Shore Up isn't bad. I do like the Guard Mouse a lot. It's probably... These 2 are both really good of these Signpost commons. Certainly better than the Cutthroat. The Duo's honestly not bad either. There's lots of quality commons in this pack. It's a question of which one do I want to take. I think we take the duo. Okay. So this really makes me want to play black-red a little bit more, which is a little awkward given how things have gone. But it can also work in blue-red. It's not bad in blue-red, so it's probably what I'm going to take. You know, it's a little 2-drop with some upside. Okay, interesting. So we've still got a guard mouse. We've still got a Heartfire hero. So blue-red is not that good at targeting at stuff. It's not terrible at it, but it's not like we have that many repeatable ways of targeting things. So it makes the hero a little less appealing, and the guard mouse. Same with black-red. Like, we're not that likely to pull it off, so maybe I'm just supposed to take the solid removal. Yeah, I think we will. Okay. So shore up is quite good if we're going to be a blue-red deck. So I think it's what we take here. So, yeah. Some fixing or a decent 2-drop. Kind of feels like the fixing's a little bit better. Yeah, I think I'll take some more fixing. Okay, so this is interesting to still be here. But I think this is probably better for us. If we were red-white, that equipment thing I think is better than people think it is. Oh, man, you're going to give me a Salvation Swan and a Driftgloom Coyote? Oh, I might have given Driftgloom Coyote a B+. I was talking about B+ uncommons. At least gave it a B. This pack really makes me wish I'd gone red-white, which we could still do. Like, there's no... You know, we're not locked in on anything, and Salvation Swan is excellent. The red cards in this pack are not very good. Like, this is fine, but... And this is okay if we're, like, red-white straight up. The Embers is, you know, kind of a build-around. I probably am supposed to take the Swan here. This is an okay black card. Better than okay, really, but I think the Swan is a lot stronger, so... We can even splash it, so... You know, with the Grotto and the Haven, so... Yeah. Okay, so Thunder Trap Trainer is intriguing. So is Harnesser of the Storms in terms of spell payoffs. Might just be better than Thunder Trap Trainer. They're both pretty good. There's another duo here, but there's a decent chance it wheels. Yeah, let's take the Harnesser. That I think kind of does lock us in on being... It's a little sad to take those lizard guys first, but I think we'll probably be blue-red, splash white for Salvation Swan. It's hard to say on play boosters, especially because this set is like completely different than every other play booster set we've had so far, because it doesn't have a bonus sheet. It just has special guests, which are not the same thing. So this pack's interesting. So Storm Splitter is kind of cool. If you have a bunch of cheap spells, you can make like a bunch of copies. But the ceiling is still like sending 8/1/4 hastes at your opponent, which not that great. Like, it's kind of a silly card in limited. The Boar is like a amazing beater. This is a spell payoff, but not a great one. This can give you a 2-for-1. I mean, I think you probably just take the Boar here. I mean, it doesn't do synergy things, but it's just like... It's just such a good rate for what it is that I have a hard time wanting to pass it. Lilypad Village. Not bad. I don't think we're a Warsqueak deck. We're not going to be very good at Heartfire Hero. Sort of thinking about the Village. I don't think Gossip's Talent is especially good. The Shucker's okay. We're not going to be much of a graveyard deck, but it's a 2-drop that in the late game does stuff. So I guess I'll take it. Ooh, this is so good. Now I really wish I'd been red-white. Yeah, so there is a hamster. Earlier we were talking about whether or not there's a hamster in the set. And I was like, I think there's one, but maybe it's in the commander deck. This card's pretty cool. Makes all your gift cards want you to give gifts to your opponent like every time you cast them. Sugarcoat's pretty good. It's probably what I take here. That Whiskervale Forerunner's good, but if you can't, you know, you need to have it in the right deck, which is not what we are, I don't think. White's crazy open. Yeah. I think that was the right path, was white, which is kind of sad. Because Driftgloom Coyote and Intrepid Rabbit are both like first pickable cards that are still in this pack. And I do think it's too late now for us to shift. We'll just take a charger here. Okay. I think I like Bellowing Crier better than the Village or the Rallier. We have enough fixing at this point that I don't really want to spend more picks on it. I would probably spend a pick on a Bell, I guess. This isn't a terrible... Oh no, that's not the one that has fixing. Just kidding. I could play with this, I guess, but I just can't imagine it's good. Like, I'm sure enough that it's not good that I don't see a reason to. So, you know, maybe I'll be wrong, but we'll see. We did end up with a bunch of random lizards. Okay, some prowess is nice. It does seem like white was probably the best path. Okay, I like both of these. I think Into the Floodmaw is probably better for us. Like, we have a few cards that trigger on ETB and stuff, but not enough to... Yeah, I think we go Pathmaker. We do need more instants and sorceries, that's for sure. There's some random fixing. Yeah, Dazzling Denial is the kind of thing we might want. Tempest Angler, we're not that good. I mean, it does trigger on non-creature, like a lot of cards do in the set, which is good. But, yeah. I do like the Collector, but given how desperately we need more instants and sorceries, I think maybe I'm supposed to take Dazzling Denial here. Yeah, I think I am. Play boosters have 14 cards in them, I think. So you shouldn't be having that problem. There's another Boar. Another card worth considering a splash of is Dream Dew Entrancer. I'm thinking Quake Tusk Boar number 2, though. We could definitely use some more removal, but we're doing okay on it. So there's a nice spell payoff. We could still use more spells, but it does trigger on non-creatures, and we have more of those. So, yeah, I think we take the Coruscation Mage here. Maybe Floodmaw Wheels. I wouldn't hate the Lynx, obviously, or Mind Spiral, but yeah. Right now, Eddie Merc Crab probably doesn't make the cut, just because we have too few instants and sorceries to really make it work. Yeah, white was definitely the most open. So many Intrepid Rabbits I could have had. We do have Enter the Battlefield abilities that I wouldn't mind blinking, but it's so expensive. And I sort of feel like maybe just another Thought Shucker is fine. Yeah, we really need some random instants and sorceries here late. So another Kindle Spark Duo. But I feel like we need a spell more than we need more Kindle Spark Duos. I mean, non-creatures do work, but... yeah, we'll take a Mind Spiral here. There's a Spell Gyre. Oh, my. What is happening? This is how open white is? Oh, my God. That's messed up. This card's really good, too. I mean, but it's not Swords to Plowshares. I mean, it's a spell. And I'm planning on splashing white, so I think I'm going to take it. Now we probably do pick up a grotto. Now I think we do pick up a grotto. Because now we're playing 2 white cards, so... That is weird. It's super cute art, too, so that's, you know, on top of everything. So this is a non-creature spell. I'm splashing white already pretty hard, so the Plume-Creed Mentor is not a terrible idea. But I should probably take War Squeak. This is a non-creature spell, but it's a pretty bad one. Guess it's what I'll take anyway. It would have been good. I don't think it would have been great, since it's a 3-mana 2/3 flyer. I mean, the main thing it would do is it would put 1 counter on something a single time. Not unplayable. So it definitely wouldn't be great in our deck. Would it be fine? Probably, but I think stretching our mana even more is probably unnecessary. Okay, so we're definitely splashing white. I do think we can get away with 1 planes, though, between the mascots and these 3 duels. Or, they're not even duels, they're like multis. So what do we want to cut? So in the end, we definitely aren't as good with spells as I would have liked. Yeah. But so we can't really cut very many instants and sorceries, and we may not even want to cut any non-creature spells, period. War Squeak is on the table, I think. For sure. But I do think we got... no, we don't have enough for Eddie Merc Crab, do we? No, I mean, it's never going to cost... I mean, it's going to cost like 5 most of the time. So I think we're just going to be happy with 2 Quake Tusk Boars at the top of our curve. We're not that good at getting Threshold. I mean, we're not terrible, but we're not that good at it either. I think our deck actually ended up being more aggressive than not. But we're probably still not good with Spark Shooter. Probably don't need so many Steam Path Chargers. I do think we want the Gecko. We have enough 2s, although I guess they have to be red 2s to really work, but it still has enough upside that I'm kind of okay with it. Not sure how good the Cutthroat is in our deck. Probably not very. I think we probably cut War Squeak. How many non-creatures does that leave us with? So we've got these 3, 4... 5, 6, 7. An okay number. It's not like our first deck of the day, though, where we had, like, all of them. But it's an okay number. Oh, I do still have 2 planes. Why did it do that to me? Do I want an island or a mountain more? I guess island is the answer. Yeah, let's cut a Thought Shucker. Don't feel as good about this deck as I did our last one, but I don't think it's terrible. I think for how early access usually goes for me in terms of like going hard on synergy, this early access, I didn't synergy it up nearly as much as I expected, as I normally do. It just didn't pan out that way. Yeah, our last deck was pretty great. This is true. We have Swords to Plowshares in this deck, so. Would have been nice to pick up some Bells because they would trigger most of our spell payoffs. Yeah, white was... That's, you know, our last deck, we were in the exact right lane. I mean, so your decks can end up being awesome. But... And in this one, I don't think we were. I think I think white, blue, or white, red. White, red probably, especially, was probably the deck we were supposed to end up in, I think. If I had picked up on signals early enough. But we do get to splash a couple of cheap white cards, a couple of really good white cards, because white was so open. So I can live with it. Okay. Not really any creatures in our hand, but... Well, we do have a creature, but it's going to be a while. We will keep 7. We're going to name blue at the Haven and just live with having to pay white for... Having to tap our Hidden Grotto for swords. Good chance we draw an island, but I think it's still probably better overall. I haven't seen... I want to see if someone can go off with that thing. Right now I don't really have a turn 4 play, so I think having Denial as our turn 4 play seems good. Smash in for 1. But yeah, this is a cool card because if you can forage enough... That's annoying. It's worth considering Swords to Plowshares on this, crazy as that sounds, because that way they don't get 2 food. But I should probably hold on to the swords and be responsible. I give Swords to Plowshares an A- in my set review. That's just how efficient it is. You know, I usually reserve A- or higher for cards that generate more than a card worth of value, and it doesn't quite get there, but, like, it's pretty great. Also, with Harnesser of Storms in play, I get to draw a card off of it. The only awkward thing about that is it doesn't work that well with instants. Like, doing stuff on my opponent's turn here does not, unless it's an instant, I can't cast it off of the Harnesser trigger, which is kind of a bummer. I'm probably supposed to play the Gecko and then leave up our mana for all these other things. Yeah. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Pass her turn. So we're holding on to Shore Up and Swords to Plowshares, both of which will just exile a card, and we probably can't play it. Same thing with Dazzling Denial. So that is a little awkward that it doesn't give you... It should say until the end of... Until your next instep. I don't know. Am I just going to let that resolve? I think I probably am. I might just Swords Corpseberry Cultivator here because it's going to be so freaking big. Oh, look. Innkeeper's Talent. God, that card's annoying. I desperately need to leave up mana to try to counter it. The problem is, if they just play it on 2, it's not going to work. So... that part's not so good. Let's pass. We'll take 4. Nice little engine they have there. Yeah, so now we'll Swords. Okay. So leaving mana up to try to counter that isn't going to work because I don't have a bird in play. So I think that just means I'm supposed to play Coruscation Mage here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This will trigger again. This time I think we do it because we'd be happy to hit a land here. Not a land. It's a little sad. So yeah, I was leaving up counter magic in that turn. I thought about, I mean, waiting ultimately wasn't a great idea because they also gained one more life back. And I thought about using it, but I decided just in case they played something I could counter, might as well wait. That's gross when you can draw off of it. But they didn't play that, so that part I like. Okay. It's too bad that's a sorcery. It's kind of a bummer, in fact. If I can hit a land drop off of this trigger, it would be awesome. I mean, I think it's what we're going to do. I could consider killing this thing, honestly. As many cards as it's drawn them, I am kind of tired of it. Yeah. Yeah. Hitting a land drop feels real good. What I really wanted to do is try to play something else and then try to play that enchantment. That's the dream world I want to live in. Unfortunately, that is very unlikely. Maybe not. Yeah, okay. Couldn't counter it anyway. I can counter that, and I might as well, because I doubt I'm going to get the chance I want to counter this, so. Okay. Thinking of just mind spiraling here. I'm not under that much pressure. Of course, this is going to change that. Could play the duo first. Yeah. Then I still have Shore Up available. It's also an otter, so it will trigger. Yeah, so. Nice. I love free lands. Yeah, I'm not sure about that cash card right now. I've played against other opponents who played it, and it didn't go very well for them, but the graveyard glitch is so weird. Yeah, this thing is so good. I could set up a double block here and use shore up to kill it. You know, give +1/+1 to whatever it is that they do the damage to, but they have mana up, so I don't think that's wise. Okay, so I think we Mind Spiral here. I don't think we want to give him a fish. I mean, giving him a fish and stunning something is okay, but a fish is going to be able to grow too, so I don't think we want to do it. Okay, that is such a bummer. We hit we hit a non-spell with we hit a spell we can't play with the disc trigger. And then we drew all lands. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I think we can just pass here. Be great if they tried to cast removal at some point. That's when shore up really shines, but this is a game where that crab actually would have been pretty good. I don't know how many we're going to have like that, but I could have played this as just a 2/1, but it didn't really seem worthwhile to me. They can't forage. I like that. I like that they can't forage. Yeah, that flyer is annoying. Well, I guess I'm gonna block. So they're trying to do all the damage to my Harnesser. I could try to play shore up here. And I think maybe that's our best play. Okay. So we still pretty desperately need to find removal, because this is going to kill us after getting a counter. Ugh. Even with all that drawing, huh? Yep, this deck does not feel very good, which doesn't surprise me too much. So they'll kill us with their flyer here, unfortunately. Unless they somehow miss that. I don't imagine they will, though. Scare them for a moment. If I actually had interaction there, you don't know what'll happen. Yeah, I guess I could have rummaged with the gecko. This is true. I did have fun, even though we lost. The triggers off of that 1/4 are pretty sweet. They definitely kept us in that game more than we would have otherwise been in it. It'd be nice to go off with that 1/3 that can bounce things to our hand and draw us cards. That would have been pretty good. Hey, there it is. Okay. Probably need to get our Salvation Swan to set up some wins with this deck. I don't know. I mean, obviously an opponent having a bad start or us having a really good draw will do it too, but... I mean, playing the Gecko out and then a Steam Path Charger is like pretty sweet, but it's not that great. I think we'll just play a Gecko here as a Gecko without an Offspring or without the trigger. Now I regret it a little, but... Oh yeah, I forgot we have these. Those would have made a difference in that last game. So let's see if they counter a Port Mage. They do not. So... I think we send this in. Do I kill Tempest Angler while they're tapped out here when I don't really have anything else going on? Yeah, probably. Need a 4th land pretty badly. Yeah, that card's a card. They could have Shore Up, which makes me a little cautious about just sending my Gecko in for no reason. Yeah, I think we play Pathmaker so that we have a better chance of hitting Boar mana. Plus, this attacks pretty well into a Harnesser. Okay, we hit a Light Shell Duo. Not a bad play if we don't draw a land for Quake Tusk Boar. Yeah, this is a little bit of a combo if we ever had a million mana. Yeah. We did draw the land. I think that just means you gotta play the Boar. I mean, it is tempting to try to take advantage of the card it gave us, but the Boar kind of has to be answered. So... Dire Downdraft, yeah. Could hit my Quake Tusk Boar with it, but then I'm just going to play it again and swing with everything. So... that is what they do. We also get to draw a card off of it, which I sort of forgot about. So did our opponent, I think, because now it's not even... a one-for-one trade, really. Dang. They wanted to get in for 4, I guess. So they could have counter magic up here because they only need 1 blue mana. If they do, it's going to stink. I think they do. No? Okay. Well, everybody swings again. That's lethal, so you must have the bounce spell. I get to draw another card. Dour Port Mage has been pretty good in this game, even though I haven't actually done anything with it. Yeah, bouncing a haster when it means I draw a card. Like, it has haste and I draw a card, so it's really just not that good of tempo. But, you know, they're drawing a bunch of cards and stuff. That's pretty fun. Still means I can swing with everything, though. Yeah. Quake Tusk Boar. I was saying Salvation Swan, but I forgot we had the Boar. It's probably going to win us some games. It's good uncommon. That was really funny. I don't know why. I guess at least they made me pay the mana again. And it didn't matter what they bounced, I guess. I was going to draw a card. So I may as well bounce the big haste thing that does cost most of my mana. But, man, that had to feel bad. Those are some feel-bad bounces where the creature has haste and also my opponent draws a card off the bounce. It's not really where you want to be. This is a risk with our mana being how it is. We are on the draw. We get a Surveil to try to find us either an island or a mountain so that we can more efficiently play these. I think we can keep it. I mean, it's a little sketchy, but I think on the draw with a Surveil, I can keep it. Like, if what we reveal is neither an island or a mountain, it basically goes in our graveyard, so... Yep. Thank you. Yeah, I think we do run this out on 2 for once. Well, let's attack. Then we'll play our duo. Yeah, that's not something that can live. Well, I think we pass, leave up Salvation Swan mana, and see what happens here. They do not get food, but that's a pretty good card to get. Yeah, so... we're going to try to Salvation Swan and just block Moonrise Cleric here. See how that goes. Not well. We do get our... oh, I meant to block that. We do get the 1/3 back as a flyer. Still. So it's not like we didn't get anything. So we've got Sugarcoat, which is going to be useful at some point. I think we have to play this. And then discard... I guess probably Waterspout Warden isn't looking too good right now. Luckily, a 1/3 flyer lines up pretty well against Moonrise Cleric, so could be worse for sure. Well, not once they put a counter on it, huh? Which is what they're going to do. Okay, so I think we kind of are going to have to cast Sugarcoat here. I guess we want to ping them first. Have some more food. Okay. I think we block like this and take 6. Yeah, I think it's our best situation. These random pings are less good when your opponent has a bunch of food. Okay. So Mind Spiral. It's not quite good enough. I think we have to do Coruscation Mage. We need 3 bodies, basically, so... to make it to our next turn, so we're going to make them. Okay. I'm gonna hope this lines up the way we want it to. Which is that we use Shore Up to save our Kindle Spark duo. That went surprisingly well. I did not think that was going to work how we wanted it to. Do we just have lethal with our boar now? Not quite. Yes, we do. No, we don't. We can do 7. Well, they're unlikely to have haste, right? Well, and I don't have to attack with the Kindle Spark Duo to do 1 damage. Yeah, they also have food, so it's definitely not lethal. Yeah, I guess they're going to give me a fish, though. And then I can stun it. Draw 3, stun it is pretty good. They do still have enough food to not die, though, unfortunately. I actually want to leave red up so we can play our gecko. Oh, they don't actually have enough to not die because they only have 2 mana untapped. Nice. Nice. Man. That shore up that they couldn't interact with was brutal. We really destroyed that attack. That was so scary by shore-upping at just the right time and killing both their creatures and only losing one of mine. Followed by a big old boar. That boar gets the job done. Yeah, I mean, I think we can... This is another sort of not awesome keep, but it is keepable, thanks to Bellowing Crier, like, and we're on the draw. Those two things both make it reasonably likely we'll draw the mana that we need, I think. Well, now we have something else we can play for 2 at least. Another island is better than nothing. Let's play Crier. I don't think I can really afford to discard a land. Leaning towards Steam Path Charger. Yeah. Although it does, and we do have the potential play 2/2 in a turn thing going on, but I think I'd rather have the Gecko or Kindle Spark Duo overall, yeah. Okay. So we pass here. Probably Dazzling Denial. I guess if they give this Menace, I might just slap Sugarcoat on it, because it's kind of, tempo-wise, is pretty good. And it's still, I mean, it's basically a 1-for-1 trade plus some tempo. I mean, it's close to a 1-for-1 trade. Nah, I can't do it. I can't convince myself that's what I'm supposed to do. As much as I like tempo. Oh yeah, we're definitely countering that, because we do not want them to double spell here. Thank goodness. So... Okay. So this means I can swing for 2. Play this. Get the mana back. It's probably super frustrating for them that we just did that since we countered theirs. I feel a little bad about it, but... How much do I want Steam Path Charger? I mean, it's okay. I don't think I'm playing it anytime soon. Probably not playing either of these anytime soon. Well, maybe the Port Mage. Yeah, I kind of think more mana is probably a little more valuable than those guys. Okay. Thank God for Sugarcoat. I'm a little surprised they attacked, if I'm being honest. So yeah, let's go Sugarcoat. No thank you. What do we discard? Probably not the value engine, probably not the removal, probably got to be the duo. Didn't really want to discard any of them, but that is Maha for you. Wonder if I'm just supposed to fire off Agate Assault here and hit him for 6 again. Kind of seems like the play. I guess I'm going to name white here just to be safe. I could also just attack here. That's probably just better, actually. That's probably not good. Oh. I can live with a 2-for-1. I can live with a 2-for-1. Was my main damage source, but hey. So glad that I named what I did. Okay. So we're gonna blink our Crier. Draw a card. Okay. Do I replay the Crier, or do I Agate Assault the Kindle Spark duo? Or this. Them gaining life is almost worse. It is worse. Yeah. So we can play our boar next turn. I think our mage might be dead, though. Ooh. That can be a problem if they're able to really get it going, but I don't think they have the time since I'm going to play this. So I think we do play out the Crier too. I mean, we're not gonna rummage, although we could consider doing it. No. That's... I forgot it wasn't a May trigger, first of all. Second of all, the fact that we had another Quake Tusk Boar is ridiculous. Like, what are the chances of that happening? I mean, I still wanted to do it because I could just bounce it and get value that way. But, man. That is brutal. Yeah. Okay. They go to 4. They got to block this. So, we're still okay. It doesn't really do anything for us in the immediate present. Unless they only single block and then we bounce the single block. I guess they will only single block, huh? So I guess it does do something. It does a little thing called winning us the game. Trample. Well, you know, this deck felt pretty bad in that first game, but we didn't get any Quake Tusk boars, you know? That was the main thing. That was the main thing. The Quake Tusk boars are the real deal. Turns out charging Monstrosaur is still pretty good unlimited. You know, having haste isn't technically an enter the battlefield ability. But it kind of is. Like, you know, it makes a card a lot better, especially when it also has trample. Because it basically means your opponent has very little chance of not taking damage before they ever untap. Okay, not bad. Wonder if I should play the mascot on 2. I mean, does mean Dazzling Denial will actually cost 4 for them to... Ooh. Ugh. If they can actually set this thing up, it's going to be bad news for us. Let us hope they cannot. Our Swords to Plowshares maybe will help. Except it'll gain them life. So, this will make me lose life and they gain life. That part's good, okay, but that's not... The thing that's gross is that if they lose life and gain life in a turn, they start making bat tokens. That is not what we want. Okay, well, I think we play the Warden instead of leaving mana up. Then next turn, more than likely, we're going to leave mana up because everything we have in our hand is instant speed. We might draw something that we want to play right away, I guess. Yeah, would not care, you know, use a kill spell on my poor Warden. Alright, they have themselves another little payoff. So, like, they can pay 2 life to draw a card here, and then this will get +1, and this will get +1, and then this will get another +1. Like, I don't love that. I don't love it. But I'm probably supposed to play out our mage here and just be okay with taking a hit here in a second. Let's see what's on top of our library. Do I need another land at this point? Not really. It'll gain flying, but, you know, what's the point? So yeah, pay 2 life, draw a card here. It gives them quite a bit of value. But hopefully, with everything we have going on in our hand, we can turn the game around. The problem is, us dealing with Lunar Convocation is not particularly easy. We can turn off the enablers, but we can't stop the Convocation, really. Oh god. Speaking of enablers. Okay. Well... Probably should have played an island there if I had a brain instead of a mountain, because then I'd be able to sugarcoat and... oh, I do have 3-tree mascot. Thank goodness for it bailing me out, huh? So we're just going to pass here and leave up all the mana in the world and see what happens. Maybe they're just going to attack me? I guess they have that luxury, huh? Okay. Well. So the annoying thing about Sugarcoat is we're going to give them the ability to gain life. Swords to Plowshares also gains them life, so we're in a super awkward spot here. At least with Sugarcoat, they have to spend some mana, you know? So, yeah, let's go ahead and sugarcoat on this Harbinger. See what they do here. Oh god, Corsation Mage triggering even triggers those things. That's ridiculous. Whose idea was that? Okay. Do I need to swords this thing now? I don't think I'm going to, but it's worth thinking about. Oh my god, that is such a non-bow to make the ping effects trigger these things. Way to punish the blue-red deck. Should be life loss only. Should be when you pay life, not when you lose life. Come on. What are they thinking? Okay. We are going to swords this thing now, I think. Now that they have 2 mana, Dazzling Denial is less likely to be useful, so... What a funny sequence this was. Yeah, it's gonna grow to even bigger, but then it's gone forever. I'm so glad about that. Oh, God. Okay. Really need a boar to lock this board down is what I need. Okay. So let's play our Harnesser of Storms. Attack with our Warden. They're just going to take 3, obviously. I mean, there's no reason for them not to. You really want to lose your Harbinger? I don't think you do. Yeah, you're 23. It really is like a bad... It's also something that's easy to overlook if you're not playing online, that these triggers will also trigger all these payoffs. Yeah, we're definitely countering that. But guess what? We're going to buff their whole board when we do. Oh my god. Luckily, this one only triggers once. So it's not like nearly as bonkers as some of the other things. But it's still not good for us. I'm so glad I drew a land. That really seems like something they should have ironed out in design, because it's such a feel-bad for the blue-red deck to go up against any of these cards. Because it has so many cards that ping the opponent when you cast an instant or sorcery that you're going to use on your turn, on their turn. Now you have to use them on your turn? That doesn't really seem like a great plan to me. I need to draw an Otter or some instants or sorceries here. Ideally. And it's especially a feel bad with the counter magic, because you can't even cast it most of the time unless it's your opponent's turn. And actually, oh no, it is during your turn, so they did limit it to that at least, but... So that's a 2/3 now. We take 1. You attack us with a flyer. 2 flyers. Okay, that is a good Otter to draw. Do we really want our mana to go like that, though? I don't think so. Because I'd rather not have to pay a tax of any kind. Oh, reveal a land, please. Oh, you didn't reveal a land, but I can live with this, I guess. Maybe. It's not actually that good. If I'd played this last turn instead of holding on to it to bluff for no apparent reason, things would be different. Do we want to into the flood maw anything? We need to do it now because of their stupid life gain. Yeah, I guess bouncing this gives us an attack. So they're going to get another counter in the long run, but... Drops them to 8. We're putting up a fight, but it's not going that well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And they're going to gain life. These are all going to buff. They won't have also lost life, so they're not going to get a bat at least, but... Yep. We take 4. It's an otter. So we do get another trigger here. And it's a land. And more lands. So that means we're dead. Oh, come on. You know I don't have anything in my hand. Just kill me. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. And we dead. We needed our boars. If we don't draw a boar, our Swan would have been pretty good too, but 3-3, you know, given how this draft went, I'd be reasonably happy with it, you know. We had winning records with our first 2 decks, so it would be kind of acceptable. Okay, looks pretty good. We do have a potential, like, really good early... Like, if we play Charger on 2, attack with the Gecko... No, that's not how we want to do it. We want to play the Crier here, yeah. Then maybe next turn we can get in with the Crier, play the Gecko, and play the Charger, which... Or Kindle Spark Duo, which I think is probably even better. Oh, God. We went up against this earlier, and it was not fun. I think we ended up winning, but we had a much different deck that could, like, win the long game. I don't think we have that this time. We are going to get to do what we wanted to do, but it's not nearly as impressive now. Give us some white mana. Gross. Two things they can't play. I'm happy about that. Let's send both of these in. Then we'll play this with its offspring. We're trying. We're trying here. But any lizard they play enters with a counter, does 1 to us, and will also draw them an extra card. That's not a lizard. I'm happy about that. I'm very happy that's not a lizard. Yeah. I definitely block. And if they have a trick, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that trick is pretty sweet when you've got lizards. They gain a bunch of life, kill our thing, and their thing doesn't die. Okay. So, I'm thinking I'm gonna rummage. Okay. Attack with both of these. And then we'll play the mascot. Mascot will allow us to swords things, but I should probably trade with it. If they attack me, they probably... Unless they have another freaking lizard thing. Yeah, draw your card. You get a Bone Bind Orator. Guess you wanted to land more. Okay. So let's play Thought Shucker. What am I supposed to swords? It's not really a great option here. This draws them cards. This just makes things bigger. I think them drawing cards is probably worse for us. And I'm going to do it now. I could probably wait against black-red, actually. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Because they might try to use that trick again. Like, if they do, like... Okay. Let's see. So, block, block, block. I probably should have killed that before it triggered. Well, now I'm kind of glad I didn't, but just because I can kill the Flame Caller, who's like a massive problem. It's gonna be tough to win this one unless we find even more removal. Which that is not. I need to get another card in our graveyard. Okay. Offspring. Discard a card. We'll sack the 1/1. Allowing this to make a 2/4 for us was pretty nice. If we didn't have that 2/4, we'd be in a lot more trouble than we are. Yep, that is pretty much game. They drain 2. All their things will trigger. And they got 2 bodies back. The only good news is they spent all their mana, so the cards they draw don't matter as much. Yeah, we'll trade. Maybe we can mill them out. Well, okay. Offspring. We need them to keep drawing lands. Hey! They did. Unfortunately, this is going to trigger no matter what. We do kill it without them. Oh, never mind. They will kill our Coruscation Mage, won't they? So may as well hold on to that one. I was thinking they were all 2/4s, but they're not. Chances are good that they'll... Oh, yeah. They just hit a removal spell. Chances are good that they'll be able to kill us with all the extra cards before they'll ever get milled out. Yep. What was the point in doing that? They had plenty of mana. What if you have other graveyard stuff? Hey, okay. That's game. Yeah, we have seen a fair bit of board stalls, it's true. I don't know how much of a reflection of reality that is, but we have seen a fair bit of board stalls. Oh, God. No, I should hold on to the 2 power things as much as I can, because they can trade with these. It's a land, but... Oh. Yeah, the boar has kind of been a prerequisite for us to actually win some games, so... That would be nice. Oh, God. Okay. Well, you have a big old boar. Don't really think we can attack, though. Yep. We do get to kill it for free, but they gain a bunch of life, do a bunch of damage, and get a card draw trigger out of the deal. And a surveil. We're down to 9 cards, that is. Oh god, another Hazel's Nocturne. I don't know about running more than one of those, but if the format is always this board stally, it makes sense. But yeah, so we're just dead to a Valley Rockcaller trigger now. No, not anymore. We keep staying alive somehow, some way. It's not gonna last much longer, though. It'd be awesome if they forgot our boar had reach. That'd be cool. We're down to 5 cards. Our card draw spell would be pretty good. Shore up is not very good here. Yeah, I think that does us in. All they have to do is attack with, oh no. Not quite. Yeah, attack with everything, give this menace, should do the job. Now it should really do the job. Because we lose 2 life also, yeah. Yeah, this is why I think this was our worst deck of the day. We just didn't end up with that much synergy or that much power. I mean, the boars were good. The boars were good. But yeah, it is pretty funny that we got as close as we did to milling them out. Like, if we could have drawn incredibly well, like our draw 3 spell, stun their best creature, like, there's a chance, but we drew pretty well to even make the game last that long, so.